However, the brakes were often malfunctioning or entirely non-functional.
Like
Too
me.
effective speed. Too effective speeds, either extremely slow or dangerously fast.
Like me.
Yes, there you go. And as a former employee described it, death awaits.
Like me.
I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast. Today, we're putting everybody in jail. Demi, throw the book at them.
What? Who exactly? Which book?
Them! Just them as a general entity, because today, shortly after the Park Peeps launched its Plumbing Project Initiative, we are now launching the Park Peeps True Alleged Crime Investigation Field Unit as we get on the case to probe into disturbed theme park accidents.
Well, yes. For all curious, we will be including Six Flags Great Adventures demolishing King Taka as the foremost criminal offense on today's docket.
Yes, get that docket ready. Get the docket ready, Demi. Throw the book at him. We're here, Park Peeps Investigation Unit. We're doing a little true crime. I mean, what is more fitting with a podcast than true crime? I feel like true crime is like where all podcast media lives, essentially.
I mean, if you're not listening to a true crime podcast, are you even podcasting?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think that it is interesting that there is such a crossover between the two things, but I do have, and I labeled this in the script as brief criminal call out.
Yeah.
And I want to make clear, I am not alleging that anybody is for real a criminal. It is just a, not metaphor, figurative crime, I guess, what I'm about to say, because I was not about to come into this topic without a hot take. Well, I guess it's not a hot take because it's a right take. It's the right take. A hot take means it's like a controversial thing to say. This is not a controversial thing to say. It is just something that I want to revisit, that I have been seeing an increasing number of recently. I've spoken passionately about this before. This is a Park Peeps PSA. Tell your irresponsible friends to share this information and take note if they need to. Demi, the things that I have seen on TikTok recently.
Oh, God, here we go.
I have seen a person stick a Labubu into the grab bar on Incredicoaster and then proceed to film it throughout the entire ride with their cell phone. I have seen, there's a park in Utah called Lagoon with a 200-foot tall roller coaster that moves at speeds of over 70 miles per hour. Them posting a video of the one girl filming herself on her cell phone while the other girl's cell phone flies out of her back pocket at 200 feet in the air.
I sent that one to you.
You did send that one to me. I then have seen a person filming on the Jurassic World River Adventure Drop. As of this recording, which is happening a little bit in advance to when it's dropping, just yesterday. Do you want to know what happened, Demi?
What happened?
Right here in my beloved home park of Kennywood.
What happened?
There was headline news on the Pittsburgh News this morning. Somebody had to be rushed to the hospital because a cell phone on Phantom's Revenge flew out of somebody's hand and hit them in the face.
No.
So
it was their own cell phone that hit them in the face?
No, I think it was somebody else's.
Oh, that's
so
worse.
actually, you know what? I need to double check that. Because now I'm thinking maybe I remembered it incorrectly. I want to make sure I double check that. But so you'll hear a Joey of the future pop into the segment right now to say what exactly it was. So cue up Joey of the future with the facts. Joey from the future here confirming that a person was taken to the hospital after being struck by a cell phone while riding the Phantom's Revenge. The incident happened at 8:45 p.m. according to the local news, WTAE. But all of this to say, this is something that, yes, I understand, I am fixated on it, but it's so dangerous and you need to stop doing it. It is not funny. It's not cute. It is not. And when you get called out on it on social media, it's also okay to just be like, oh, actually, yeah, there's a lot of people watching my video right now. maybe I should tell them, actually, this isn't safe. Let's not do this. Because it sends people to the hospital. It can permanently disfigure someone's face. God forbid if that cell phone on that ride that was 200 feet tall fell out of that girl's pocket and hit a 4-year-old child in the head. I don't even want to tell you what that would do to that 4-year-old child. It is incredibly irresponsible. It is so dangerous, and I promise you, no social media video is worth the risk and the lifelong guilt that you would feel if you permanently injured somebody or worse. It's not worth it. Stop doing it. People who are posting these videos just perpetuate that this is okay. It's not. Stop doing it. Stop filming on rides. Unless you have proper permission from a park in a controlled environment or equipment that the park is providing, such as when Cedar Point provided the front-facing camera when Jeremy and I rode Siren's Curse.
Or when,
totally fine.
Which you can watch my Dorney Park video when they said each ride is different depending on who is you have to ask each ride if you're able to use your GoPro, which is securely fixed onto my hand and wrist.
Yep.
And if you saw it, there were some rides, yes, some rides, no. It all depended, and I followed the rules.
And Demi followed the rules. So we're not going to throw the book at Demi.
What is this book you keep talking about?
Isn't it like an old-timey saying? It's like they're going to throw the book at someone. That's like a crime.
Yes, I know. It was just joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm actually not that dumb.
Believe
it or not. But
I really thought that you were like, what is this book?
No, I'm so glad that my theater degree is coming in handy here. But I'm ready to get into this true crime episode
yes.
that we're about to do.
Yes, and we should preface by saying that all of the things we are going to present, these, if they are crimes, they are alleged, and we.
Well, I mean, I think we're talking more like accidents, and whether there's some crimes.
If there's negligence, it is alleged to protect ourselves. It is alleged. Yes. So, Demi, would you like
I really
want to
go first.
Yes, because we're highlighting weird/disturbing/ just interesting theme park accidents. So just as a warning I don't know how in-depth yours get, Demi, but some of mine, we just want to give a small trigger warning to some people.
Right.
We will be speaking about death. We will be speaking about perhaps some injuries that are happening to people. So if that, and you know what, we'll understand if that's not your thing.
Yeah.
This is not your episode, but
go listen to the one about bathrooms.
Bathrooms or Test Track 3.0.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. But if we're doing an episode about theme park accidents,
yes,
I have to start us off with.
Do we have the same one?
Oh, maybe we do. Because how could you not start off with Action Park?
No. Oh, okay. No. I don't have that one. Go. I love it.
Okay. So, if you are not aware, there was this park in New Jersey called Action Park.
Of course, New Jersey.
New Jersey. To the point where, when a kid would suggest to their parents, "Can we go to Action Park?" When a kid would just say, "Hey, can we go to Six Flags Great Adventure?" or as the people in New Jersey just call it, Great Adventure, the parents would say, "No, it's too dangerous." And then they would say, "Oh, well, can we go to Action Park instead?" That's how you would be able to get to go to Great Adventure, because Action Park was notorious for being extreme. It was that time, that era of extreme and craziness. My friend's brother got to go there as a kid. They drove all the way from Brooklyn. Oh yeah, because he's a child of the 80s, and his parents, of course, just let him go. Action Park. And I highly encourage everyone. There is a documentary called Class Action Park. I believe it's on HBO. It is fantastic. It gives you so much in-depth history of what's going on. And comedian Chris Gethard is in there, he does a lot of bits about Action Park in his material, and it's It's very funny to have him in there with his real life experiences and a lot of other people's real life experiences. This park does not seem real, and yet, of course, because it was back in the 80s and the 90s, it was real. And there was something that was there that caused a lot of problems, and it was called the Alpine Slide. This was a 2,700-foot-long track made of concrete, fiberglass, and wait for it, asbestos.
Yum.
Riders sat on a small sled equipped with a brake and accelerator stick intended to control the speed. However, the brakes were often malfunctioning or entirely non-functional, leading to two effective speed. Yes. Two effective speeds, either extremely slow or dangerously fast. And
like me.
Yes, there you go. And as a former employee described it, it was death awaits.
Oh, like me.
The sled brakes were frequently broken and the track lacked adequate safety barriers. Hay bales were used at curves to cushion impacts, but these were insufficient to prevent injuries. Rocks along the track, which had eventually were taken away, but for many, many years.
Taken away.
Yes, you're going to understand why after I tell you about this accident. There were rocks that lined this track. And the whole thing is that this ride was like built with minimal engineering and run by teenagers with zero supervision and zero. It's a hot mess. And and between 1984 and 1985 alone, it caused 14 fractures and 26 head injuries, with countless unreported minor injuries like abrasions and burns.
Oh,
and now we're gonna get a little more serious. Even though, I mean, the whole thing is serious, but like we're gonna get serious. So on July 8th, 1980, George Larson Jr., a 19-year-old visitor, was riding the Alpine Slide, and it's so sad. His sled had a malfunctioning brake, which caused it to derail from the concrete track. And after failing to negotiate this curve that he was on, he was thrown from the sled on an embankment and struck his head on a rock.
On the rock.
On those rocks, you guys, lined with rocks, a ride. He sustained a severe head injury, which left him in a coma for a week. And unfortunately, he passed away July 16th, 1980, from his injuries.
This was in the documentary, right? I think I remember this.
Of course was in the documentary. This was a big part of the documentary. Mm-hmm. And it, unfortunately, is it's not even over yet. So because this park was so mismanaged and negligent, the park's founder, Gene Mulvihill, allegedly, claimed Larson was a park employee, stating that he was riding after hours in the rain. And this was an attempt to avoid reporting the death to the New Jersey state authorities, as an employee death did not require the same level of scrutiny as customer deaths. And Larson's family disputed this, clarifying that he had only worked as a ski lift operator at the neighboring Vernon Valley Ski Resort, which was also owned by Mulvihill, during the prior winter season, and was not employed at Action Park at the time of the incident. And because of that, the ride was able to continue to operate. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Eventually, Larson's family settled with Action Park for only $100,000. And I say only, even in back
1980.
in the 1990s. Or was it 80 or 90?
You said he died in 80, right?
No, yeah. Yeah. So I'm sorry. It's just like insane. And then, and even with that, they were required to remain silent about the incident for years until they spoke about it on the documentary Class Action Park. And finally, even despite the death and numerous injuries, the slide remained operational until 1998, when the park, then under new ownership as Mountain Creek Water Park, required riders to wear helmets and knee pads for its final season, and the slide was finally dismantled after September 6th, 1998.
That is so wild because that park, I remember reading, I had all my little amusement park books when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I remember they had one that had a loop in it. A slide
Yes,
that had a loop.
yes, that was
And that also hurt people.
Cannonball, Cannonball, something like that.
I forget.
And it literally looked like, you know, like the Ricola guy,
The horn.
the horn. Because
horn.
it looks like that, but with this really small loop, and people would get stuck in the loop. Like, it was made by, like, I believe it was made by, like, employees there. Like, so with no, like, training.
They had to install a door.
They had a hatch to get people out. Yeah, I was going to bring that up as well. Please, just go watch Class Action Park. I mean, it's you're never going to believe that this park was real and that parents took children to this park.
Watch that doc. That doc is so... I hate to use the word entertaining, but it is. I mean, it is an entertaining and well-made documentary, and it really highlights and gets into the disturbing nature of a lot of this. But, like, in theory, when you hear about some of the crazy stuff that happened at this park, you're just like, that's the entertaining part of it, is like, how did they allow some of this?
It was Cannonball Loop was the full name of that attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, a water slide. Remember, not a coaster, not a regular ride, a water slide with a loop.
Slide. The Ricola experience.
The Ricola experience.
I love that. Well, this will be of no surprise to you, Demi, as a regional occupant. But, well, not specifically, but just, you know, generally, like you said. Mine also takes place in New Jersey.
New Jersey!
Yes. At your beloved Six Flags Great Adventure.
My beloved? Okay.
Well, not anymore.
Not since they massacred my boy.
Well, what a segue into this.
No.
So there is something called, have you heard of this, the Haunted Castle Fire?
I have not.
Oh, well, you are in for well, no, it feels weird to say you're in for a treat because this is extremely disturbed.
Yeah.
But this happened on, and actually, a weird thing that I noticed, all of mine happened in the month of May. So May, odd month for theme park travel.
Oh, and I usually recommend people going to parks in May because it's pretty quiet.
Well, not on May 11th, 1984, you shouldn't.
Oh, no.
Because, and all of my sources for this came from the Washington Post, United Press International, and the New York Times. So in May of 1984, there was a fire that allegedly occurred at the Haunted Castle attraction at Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey. No, it actually did happen. It was well documented. But the Haunted Castle was the attraction. It was a walkthrough attraction made up of, like, I guess they were little trailers kind of stitched together, as from what my understanding and interpretation of these articles. But according to the investigations and media reports, the fire is said to have started accidentally when a visitor allegedly used a cigarette lighter inside the attraction. So, when this fire started, it was very difficult to get out, and there were apparently no smoke detectors and things like that in this, so it just was a bunch of things that compounded. I believe the total number of dead was 8. There were 8 teenagers, and it injured many, many, many people. So following the incident, the families of the victims did file lawsuits against Six Flags and the contractors who were involved in building and maintaining the attraction. The lawsuits alleged negligence and failure to provide adequate fire safety measures, essentially. So there were investigations, apparently, that suggested that the Haunted Castle did not meet certain fire safety codes, including the absence of, as I said, the proper fire suppression systems and emergency exits. So I believe Six Flags faced considerable, like, obviously legal and public scrutiny from this, which prompted the park and other amusement parks to sort of reevaluate, I guess, and improve safety standards for walkthrough and dark ride attractions. So, there's a really great video about this on, I believe, what's the YouTube channel? I believe it's called like Disturbing History or something. But they have a really great video on this as well, and I just can't imagine being trapped inside a haunted walkthrough and it, catching fire like this. And the thing that's so frustrating about this is that, according to all of these reports and allegations, that if it was due to, like we were talking about with Action Park, like alleged negligence, it's how frustrating that something meant to be fun and teenagers going out for a nice park day, it just ends like this. It's just unimaginable. And 8 lives going out to do something that we love and talk about every single day and that makes us happy, it just ends like this. It's just a horrendous thought. So,
do you know where this was located in the park? Like, is it where the Houdini attraction stands?
I don't believe so. There in researching, it did come across, and like I remember reading that it was located in such and such space, but I don't remember exactly where it was. But yeah.
Well, I never knew that, and I think and it was funny because their version of like a haunted attraction now is like the Houdini
thing,
attraction, where it's like an optical illusion, but it's also supposed to be like scary. And I always thought to myself, like, I'm surprised like they went with this way and not like just like a regular haunted attraction. And now I know why.
So it was it was situated. It was situated across from the Music Express ride where the Alpine Blitz roller coaster used to be.
There's no. I don't think there's no more Music Express, so I'm not sure where that would have been. I'm pretty sure there's no more Music Express.
There's a map. Okay, so I'm looking at a map right now from 1983. Okay. It looks like it was right. You know where the new roller coaster is, the new Flash roller coaster is.
Yeah,
it was right there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So, because there's the entrance, it was right to the side of the entrance.
Wow. That's so
rough.
sad.
It's really rough.
Oh, man. What a bummer of an episode.
I know. We're both like, well, happy theme parks.
Happy theme park. Yay.
Park Demi.
Peeps Podcast.
Park Peeps. The Deathcast. Okay, let's go. Number 2 for Demi.
Okay. Okay. Do I want to do this one first? Okay. Let's take a break from like death, and because I wanted to make sure I put in...
Just move to injury.
Yes. It's a short one, and I was like trying to find something that wasn't like too extreme, but also kind of like weird. And I discovered not that long ago, in June 2024, at Oaks Amusement Park in Portland, Oregon, on the Atmosphere ride, which is a pendulum-style attraction that swings riders up to 360 degrees. The ride malfunctioned due to an electrical failure, leaving 28 riders stuck upside down at the peak of the ride's arc, approximately 50 feet in the air for about 30 minutes. Do you remember seeing clips of this?
I do.
I totally forgot until I was doing research, and I was like, oh my gosh, what a weird, horrible thing. So the passengers were mostly teenagers on a field trip, which I didn't know. And they were strapped in the seats, and but the prolonged inversion caused significant discomfort with some reports of nausea and dizziness. And they brought in the fire rescue. They responded pretty quickly, manually lowering the ride after cutting power. One rider with a pre-existing medical condition was taken to a hospital for evaluation, but was released soon after. And surprisingly, no other injuries were reported. And the incident was caused by a faulty sensor in the ride's control system, which failed to detect the ride's position, triggering a safety lock. They closed that attraction for several days, and, depending on a state inspection. So, I was trying to find some weird ones where it was like, not too horrible, but also like, oh my gosh, could you imagine being totally upside down for 30 minutes like that?
No, that would be
And
that is like one of my worst fears.
and like, not to say like it's a good thing it was teenagers, because it shouldn't be anybody, but like, you know, teenagers can probably like sustain a lot more like stress to their bodies. If it was an older person, that could have been something much, much worse on there. Possibly. I mean, it could for the teenager as well, but like, you know, depending on people, you know, it's really scary to think about, because you don't think about, you're just going on a ride and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, because, you know, oh God, how uncomfortable would that be? Like the rest of your body being in pins and needles, and then like all the blood in your head, like the blood vessels in your neck and blood.
Yeah. As someone who has like injuries from a car accident that has affected my entire life and my entire life moving forward, and that is very selective on the kind of rides that I do because of it. If I did think I can handle this attraction and then that happened to me, I don't know what would have what would have happened to me. I have so many head and neck problems from my accident that alone really could have done some serious damage to me.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, that's why like I wanted to bring, like, that's why I also wanted to bring this up, because it's like, you know, this is something that could happen again. This happened last year. And it stinks to have that fear of like something like this happening at just like a place that you're just going to go on a ride. And, you know, luckily nobody was hurt, but, you know, it still stinks.
There's a similar ride in Waldameer here in Pennsylvania that it also happened to. Not, I don't think for as long, but it also happened to that ride, I believe, not too long ago.
Right.
So yeah, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
But and we just want to remind everybody also, theme park rides, it's like one of the safest things you can do. Like,
right.
say, traveling at these speeds, doing these kind of things to your body, like in that context, it is one of the safest things you can do while still also doing these extreme maneuvers. So we know all of our parks out there, you know, do rigorous safety and mechanical checks, and it's this episode is not meant to strike fear into the hearts of anybody, but that is why these are notable, because it's so rare. Do
you remember when we did our epic episode and I said I won't do Dragon Racers Rally because I have a fear of, and I was talking about, I didn't even realize I was talking about what happened with this event on this attraction, because it's like that pendulum attraction, and I know Dragon Racers is different, but to me, like, it seems very similar, and I mean that's why, like, so anything like that's similar kind of style ride to me now, just for precaution, like I don't do. And I know, again, everything is safe, it's just because I have anxiety, and I'd rather not be on a ride and feel like anxious. You have to do what's right for you, of course. But no, the rides are safe. It was just like a very weird freak thing, clearly, with the sensor. But you won't see me riding Lasso of Truth at Six Flags Great Adventure anytime soon.
Oh, yeah. Well.
What?
That one doesn't go upside down.
That one doesn't? Oh.
Mm-hmm. No, there are two different models. So there's one at Kennywood as well called the Black Widow, where there's the giant pendulums. There are some that don't fully invert, and then there are some that do a full inverting loop. And the one that you're talking about does the full inverting loop, but it does it in a very slow way.
Right.
Whereas the other giant frisbees they're called frisbee attractions. Those don't go upside down. So, so Wonder Woman, she's safe. Well, the other rides are safe as well. I'm not saying they're not safe. They're all safe, but like safe in the figurative sense of like, it doesn't go upside down.
Yeah.
So, well, my next one, unfortunately, is not as tame as Demi's. It does involve, unfortunately, a grisly death. So this is and I'm not sure 100% how to pronounce the name of this roller coaster, but for the purposes of this pod, I'm going to stick to one pronunciation, and if it's wrong, it's wrong. But the Fujin Raijin II roller coaster, which derailed at a park in Japan called Expoland on May 5th, May 2007. My sources for this one are the Japan Times, Kyoto News, the Tampa Bay Times, United Press International, and also Theme Park Insider. So the ride, which was a stand-up coaster, it reportedly derailed when the second car's axle fractured, which caused the wheel mechanism to detach. And then you can see pictures of this online of the car. It's kind of sitting. There's one car that is sitting to the side and is kind of resting against the safety rail on the side of the coaster. And unfortunately, a young woman was killed after her head collided with the handrail. And there was also multiple other people injured because of this, because obviously when that happens, the ride comes to a very abrupt stop. So there were investigations that indicated the axle wasn't replaced, I believe, for a very, very long time. So there were other safety inspections, which included a lot of different kind of testing. But authorities then apparently raided the Expoland offices on the suspicion of negligence, again, alleged. But so it caused a whole chain reaction of events. So there were also apparently cracks found in other axles of other trains at the park. So there was a lot of scrutiny, potential legal consequences that all of these reports outline. So, and it is interesting because in Japan and some other countries in Asia, I have been noticing with vloggers that I follow, when they go there, there are very rigorous, even like physical preparation that parks in this region will make riders do. Like, they will make you like stand up, and then they'll be like teaching a class, like you raise your arms, then you put your arms down, and then you put your arms in a circle, and they like remind you, like, are you good to go on this ride? Like, you have to put your hands here. It's like a very significant thing, because even if there is one incident at a park, it can taint the image of, like, once the public's trust is betrayed, it's like a thing. So they're very rigorous about this stuff. And yeah, this I remember, if you look up pictures from this, thankfully none are graphic. You can't see anything graphic online, but because they do have the car covered with a tarp. But yeah, you can fully see this roller coaster car just laying on its side against this railing. So just imagining what that poor woman had to have gone through, you know, this car derailing and then hitting her head against this this rail is just super disturbing. So that one has always kind of stuck with me, because I remember I was, like 17 when this happened, and I remember reading it on the news and just being so incredibly disturbed by it. And then to see the picture of what happened, it really left a mark on me as a kid. So, and it's not one that I see people talking about a lot. So, yeah,
that's
messed up.
Yeah.
We're just having a party over here today.
Park Peeps party.
A Park Peeps disturbing party.
How does Ashley Flowers do this all the time?
I don't know.
All right. Should we go to
I think we should go to your third one, yes.
Okay, well, it's... okay.
Should we have like violin music playing under this entire episode?
I feel bad having chosen this one, because I don't want to scare people, because it's a Disneyland accident.
Oh, there's so many notable Disneyland accidents in the past.
Yeah, I didn't hear about this one. I never heard about this one. This was from September 1st, 2005.
Was it Big Thunder Mountain?
I'm sorry. It's September 6th, 2003. It was updated. I was reading the wrong date. Yes, it was. I had never heard about this. So, so that on that day, a 22-year-old man passed away, and 10 other riders were hurt when the train cars broke loose from Big Thunder Mountain. The accident occurred at 11:20 a.m. Pacific time after the small red engine sped through the faux desert landscape and uphill into a tunnel where the cars separated and the locomotive derailed. I am reading this from source, the Tampa Bay Times, by the way.
Okay.
The man who died Marcelo Torres, was in the first car behind the locomotive. Moments after the accident, riders clambered from the cars and the park guests ran out calling for help. Authorities says some passengers were trapped inside the cavern for up to an hour before firefighters and paramedics could get them out. Frontierland was quickly sealed off, and park employees kept guests from entering the area. 10 riders ranging in age from 9 to 47 were treated for moderate to minor injuries at local hospitals. Michael Eisner was the CEO at the time, and his statement was brief. It gave his condolences, obviously, and said, for the last 50 years, the safety and well-being of our theme park, our guests, and our employees has been and continues to be our top priority. So they had to close the ride down temporarily to have an investigation. And obviously, it's up now and to my knowledge, hasn't had a problem ever since. But so upsetting to hear that one at Disneyland.
Yeah, it really does.
Especially
there's nothing else you can say. Like, it's just, it's a bummer.
Especially, like, you would think, like, not that, I mean, I think in the back row, Big Thunder Mountain is, like, the most fun little coaster,
I
right?
agree.
But, like,
yeah.
it's not, like, a fast, super crazy coaster. Like, you would think that, like, something like this could happen on, like a much bigger, scarier looking coaster. This is a 40-inch height requirement coaster. So to be able to, for it to have, I guess, picked up speed and how it occurred, I mean, like, it just probably was just like gravity doing its thing, and it just like was like a freak thing, like, it's to have someone lose a life, especially someone so young.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah. I mean, regardless of speed and all those other things, it's like that's why it is important to be so vigilant about making sure that you are not, and in no way am I saying that anybody involved in this that was riding it did anything wrong, but I'm connecting it just to a prior point of, like, because so many mechanical things are going on and things are moving at such a high speed, it's even more paramount that you don't do things that could potentially aggravate a giant moving machine that literally has you strapped into it, such as taking your cell phone out or taking a Labubu onto a high-speed roller coaster that could potentially interfere with those mechanisms. And again, not saying anybody involved in this did that. I know they did not. However, I'm just connecting it back to a prior point of, like, don't aggravate it. These things are high-speed, multiple-ton machines moving at high speeds. Do not aggravate it. Like,
Joey's right. Like, to take a picture, like, when, if you're not, like, secure, don't do anything stupid, like, try to stand up or what I really hate is, like, when people, like, even if it's a slow moving ride, hop off a ride, do something stupid, and then hop back on the ride. It's just so dangerous. You don't need to do it. You're just going to get banned and you may get hurt. And just do what you're supposed to do. Sit there and enjoy it.
Yeah, because even, like, on little boat rides, there are things under the water that are pushing a current and making it a current so that the boats can go along. Those boats coming along those things, moving at slow speeds, you fall under one of those boats, like, you are getting wedged in there underneath the water, and ain't nobody is going to be able to move that boat off of you.
Yep.
So all it takes is one slip off the side of a ride. You get wedged in between the boat and the side. You're done. Also, it reminds me of my neighbor from when I was growing up at Kennywood. He stuck his thumb out. He had his hand hanging out over the side of, there's a ride at Kennywood called the Pittsburgh Plunge. It's like one of those big shoot-the-chute rides. It's not a log flume. It's like the big boat rides.
Right.
Crushed his thumb. Totally crushed his thumb. He had like a cast on his thumb for like the whole summer.
How? Like the wall crushed it?
Yeah. He had his hand dangling over the side of the, when it was like rounding the corner to come back into the station, I believe. And just fully crushed his finger.
I feel it. I feel it.
Uh-huh. It's like the safety rules are there for a reason. So
remove your hats and glasses and keep your hands and feet inside.
And keep your inside the ride. So funny enough, my last one. Kennywood has had many accidents over the years. Let me just say this: there were many a Kennywood accident over the years.
Enticing.
However, this one, which happened on the last day of May in 2002, and I remember as a child watching this on the local news as it unfolded.
Yeah.
My sources again are WPXI and CBS local. So there was, on that date, it was horrendous weather throughout the entire city. And a microburst, which is a small but intense downburst of wind, reportedly generated gusts of up to 80 miles per hour. So the damage that this did, even though it's like a small tornado at the park, it was crazy. I remember helicopter shots from the air showing what had been done to the park. It was nuts.
Gosh.
It like uprooted trees. There were structures damaged throughout Kennywood. It was crazy. But the most serious thing that happened, there was in the Lost Kennywood section of the park, which is a tribute to the old like seaside parks like Luna Park and Coney Island, and it has a really nice aesthetic like that. It's really, really pretty. It actually is also where the Pittsburgh Plunge is.
Yeah.
They used to have this building that was over this ride called the Whip, and it was a giant. It was almost like a barn kind of situation, but it was just this beautiful structure, and the pavilion's roof was torn off by the wind partially, and the top of the structure like lifted up and moved a little bit and then came down and pinned a 29-year-old woman between the fence and this structure, and she died.
Gosh.
So yeah, there was a lot of people injured that day, but yeah, she was the only death that day. But I believe her family also filed a wrongful death suit, and according to the local news, the settlement was around $2 million. But yeah, the park was closed immediately after, but it reopened a few days later, and the Whip obviously was not functional then. But
yeah,
ever since then, the Whip has not had a roof over the ride. It's remained roofless. So yeah, and like I said, I remember watching this on the news that day, of first of all, the weather coverage, and second of all, seeing the helicopters over Kennywood and seeing this building laying there like that. It's another one of those memories that's just kind of burned into my brain from being a kid. But yeah, there's been a lot of accidents at Kennywood. I don't mean to say Kennywood's a dangerous park, but when you're a local, you hear about things that happen at your local park. And there was also an incident where I believe the Thunderbolt, the roller coaster, it collided in the station or near the station. The two trains collided. There was something wrong there. And yeah, people have died at Kennywood. There's obviously this woman, and then there've been other deaths at Kennywood as well. So, and they did for a very long time have a sign when you were going up the hill on this roller coaster called the Racer. There was a sign with two little skulls on it that was like, "Don't stand up" or something. So they predicted Demi.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, how do we pull out of this one?
Dude, I don't know. I hope we're not all just like collectively depressed right now.
I think we are. I think we just our most depressing Park Peeps episode. Oh no.
That's how we're gonna advertise it. The most depressing Park Peeps episode yet. Yet.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. That way there's some optimistic things at the end. Did we throw the book? Demi?
I think we not only threw the book, I think we threw it, stomped on it, shredded
ripped the pages out,
and burned it.
We ripped them pages out. We burned them.
Yeah.
We did a lovely job. Highlighting these not so lovely things, but there's a lot of disturbing accidents out there that have happened on this stuff. And I will say most of the time coming across these things, they are attributable to alleged negligence. It's not like these things are inherently unsafe. So it's human error, that goes into a lot of this stuff, which, is a reality. But stressing to everybody that theme park stuff is ridiculously safe. It is extremely safe. The reason why these things are notable is because it is so rare. So
yeah, you're more than likely going to be in a car accident than
for sure.
in a theme park accident.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you, fact, I was in one. So a car accident, not a theme park one. Actually, and you know what? That accident happened as on the way home from Six Flags Great Adventure on the Verrazano Bridge. Multiple cars.
Not meaning to laugh at that, but like, I mean,
I know.
Not laughing at the accident itself, but like how fitting for this episode.
I know. We were going to, because I was getting my ankle surgery like a month later, and I was like, I want one day of summer fun, because it was 6 months after I got married. It was my 6-month anniversary. It was in May, and I was like, all right, so we're coming back from my one summer day of fun before I was going to be on the couch all summer with a cast on. And then, many, many cars on the upper deck of the bridge, huge golf ball on my head, hospital forever with pain in my neck and migraines. Jeez. So yeah, it was not great.
Nope.
And so that's what I'm saying. It's like people ask me all the time, like, oh, Demi, how do you fly all the time? Are you like afraid? I'm like, I mean, I have this same general fear, I guess, of just like life everywhere I go, but not as specifically toward planes. It's more safe to be in a plane than it is in a car. And fun fact, as a New Yorker who never wanted to drive, but was forced to learn how to drive against my will, I have to tell you, I hate driving. I hate cars. I just drove back from Dorney Park, and it took me 4.5 hours, which should have taken 3 hours, and my back hurts. I hate driving. Just in case, I don't know how to end this episode, so I'm just going to complain about how much I hate driving and how unsafe it is to be in a car. I mean, but you're also fine in a car too. Just be safe.
It is.
I don't want to scare people. I'm sorry. I'm trying. Just be responsible.
Be responsible.
Be responsible.
I mean, we could just end it.
Yeah, I think we should end this.
Yes.
I don't even know how to transition out other than thanks for doing this with me, Joey.
Well, Demi, are you happy to report that this investigation has closed?
Oh my gosh, I can't. I'm so happy it's over.
Are you happy to report that this investigation has closed?
Well, sorry. As my script says in front of me, well, I'm happy to report that this investigation has closed, as has Park Peeps' official professional endeavor into true crime world. My theme park videos, however, continue. Wow, what a transition, Joey. Yeah. Over on my YouTube channel and socials at Magical Hijinks. That's HIJINX. Make sure you're subscribed and you're following. And make sure you are listening to the pod. New episodes every Tuesday to listen wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right. So follow us at Park Peeps Pod on socials and keep up with me at Joey Nolfi until next time.
Next time for a book and something probably more fun.
Happy.
But I hope you enjoyed it. Okay.
Is this a musical theater move?
This is no. It looks like you're trying to do like a mix of spirit fingers and jazz hands, and neither is happening. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.